It's mailbag time here on the Dallas Cowboys Report. As always, every single question coming in from our live audience. From Emil Pettersson, do you think Joseph, meaning Kelvin Joseph, can be a number one corner in the NFL? So absolute ceiling-wise, the answer is yes. However, I think he's a pretty decent amount away from that absolute ceiling. I am not expecting that in year one or even in year two. If he can become a good starter, that would be a great pick in the second round. There's the coachability stuff from Kentucky. That's a big red flag there. Only played like 13 college games. So be patient in the end with Kelvin Joseph. From my burner account, how much of an impact does having an in-person offseason help this team? He thinks it hurt Dallas last year with a new coaching staff. I agree. Look, I think in general, being able to learn and do things in person is normally going to be better, especially when it's a new thing, than trying to do it all remotely. I think that was definitely apparent on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's noteworthy that the offense didn't change terminology, and the offense was still pretty solid for the most part last year. So I think in person, being there for OTAs is definitely going to pay off for the Cowboys in the end. From Corey Sliger, or Slidger, however you say it, trade for Drew Lock as a backup. If he's cheap, okay, sure. It would require Denver to get Aaron Rodgers in a trade and then move Drew Lock for something cheap. If you can get Drew Lock for like a day 3 pick, sure, I'm on board. Anything beyond that, I mean, what's the point at that point, you know? From ZEEK Prescott, best show on the tube, baby. Almost 100,000 subscribers. Let's go. I completely agree, my friend. If you guys haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. In fact, I'm going to give you guys the best opportunity right now. If you get the ad break here on YouTube, take advantage. Scroll on down, click that subscribe button right now. Another super from Skeptical Fan with an all-time profile pick, by the way. Who gets the most sacks on defense this season? I think you've got a very clear-cut 2 favorites, right? DeMarcus Lawrence and also Randy Gregory. If it's not one of those 2 guys, I will either be very, very concerned about what happened or very, very happily surprised. I think Lawrence probably leads the way. I'm feeling pretty good, though, about Randy Gregory this upcoming season. He's got an actual offseason for the first time in ever, basically. I think that's a good thing in the end for Gregory. Super chat now from Andres Gonzalez. If you had to choose Brice Butler, Devin Smith, Dez Bryant, Terrence Williams, Clay Matthews, or Earl Thomas, who would you invite to training camp? I do need a beer if we're going to do Earl Thomas beers today. I'm going to cross off Terrence Williams. He couldn't make the XFL. I'm going to cross off Brice Butler because he was never actually all that good. Devin Smith, Dez Bryant, you don't need a receiver. Clay Matthews has no role for this team right now, so I guess by virtue of elimination, it's Earl Thomas. I'll have someone go get me a beer right now. I'll have Producer Chugs do it for me for Earl Thomas because, I mean, in the end, the answer's probably nobody. But, I mean, I guess it's Earl Thomas in the end. Speaking of Earl Thomas, from MJ, as Safe Talk again is only allowed for Super Chats, he says Earl Thomas, Earl Thomas, Earl Thomas, now get drunk. All right. Bottoms up, boys and girls. All right, Tristan Brown now. Moving to Dallas next month so I can see the boys. Disappoint me somehow in my own backyard. Wow, that's a deep cut there, Tristan. Damn, man. That one is a very, very deep cut. All right. From my burner account, some funds for the baby war chest. Thank you, my friend. Say whatever you want about Dallas and the safety position. What's my allotted time limit here, Producer Brett? 30 seconds? Okay, I'm not over it. No, we're not over yet. I just, please invest in it one day. Just at some point, spend a top 75 pick. Like, at the going rate we are on, the day the Cowboys draft a safety, if I ever have a son, that's what we're going to name the firstborn son after whatever safety the Cowboys finally draft. All right, if you guys want daily NFL videos, including the NFL draft, where we're live during, and you can see me melt down over various picks, hit the big red button over at youtube.com/chatsportstv. Link is right there at the bottom of your screen. It'll also be in the comment section and in the description. So if you haven't already, go subscribe to us at youtube.com/chatsportstv. From Big Phill with 2 L's. What trade package would you put together to get a star on the defensive side of the ball? I am looking at the defensive line. I am picking up the phone, calling the Jets, who hate me, by the way, and saying, hey, what do you guys want for Quinnen Williams? And it probably is a first and a starter, and maybe I could work something out where I give them Michael Gallup in a first, which I would do. Jets might not do it, though. I'd be calling about Quinnen Williams to fix my interior defensive line. From ZEEK Prescott, how do you feel about our backup quarterback situation? In case something happens to Dak again, God forbid, will we be okay? Depends on what happens to Dak. If it's like a game or two, you might be able to survive with Garrett Gilbert if you draw the right games. If it's for the season, I mean, it doesn't matter who your backup quarterback is. Andy Dalton was like the best you were going to find. And frankly, if Dak goes down again, I'm worried about Dak, but also just tank. Embrace the losing and get the higher draft pick and then trade that for even more picks. From Zeke again, who else is ready for some Dallas Cowboys football? I absolutely am, but let's see. Will the Cowboys make the playoffs? Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Type in 1 for yes or type in 2 for no. Get your votes in, make your voice heard right now. From Logan, how do you split time between Zeke and Pollard? So for starters, I'm actually down to see some 20 personnel, which is 3 receivers and those 2 backs out there on the field. Beyond that, I mean, I think in the end it's still going to be Zeke as your lead back. I don't know if Tony Pollard can handle, 250 touches a season. He's not that big of a back. Some team might give him the opportunity, but I still think you use Pollard as more of the change of pace back. So use him, utilize him, but I think Zeke is still going to be this team's lead back in 2021. From X2Pro Skillz, what position are we targeting the first and second rounds for next year? Look, I don't know. I can't say the one position they should target because it's not a super chat here, but hint, hint. I think defensive line, interior, still going to make some sense. If the offensive line has injury issues, probably O-line. What happens to Michael Gallup or Dalton Schultz? Skill position, tight end and receiver, might be a need for the Cowboys. From Creepy Lego, okay. Blake Jarwin or Dalton Schultz? My first answer is yes. My real answer is if Blake Jarwin is healthy, probably Blake Jarwin. But we'll see. Either way, you guys get your votes in for me right now in the comment section. Type DS for Dalton Schultz, or I am allowing you guys to type in BJ. Not many YouTube channels let you guys actually do that. So get your votes in right now. From Brokov, Michael Gallup, Anthony Brown, and a second-round pick for OBJ and a third. I think both sides say no. The Browns would have to then pay Michael Gallup. Also, the whole purpose of we want to trade Michael Gallup is to save money and not pay him. So then why would you be paying Odell Beckham a pretty good amount of money now and in the future, who's also coming off injury? I think both sides in the end would end up saying no to that particular deal. From my burner account, can Josh Ball be a swing or is he primarily a left/right tackle? I think early on, they're going to train him mostly at left tackle. But I do think spending a 4th-round pick on a player, your realistic hope/goal for him is to end up being a swing tackle. So the Cowboys are pretty deep right now at offensive tackle, so you don't have to rush him into being a swing. But I think down the road that is the goal for the Cowboys.